Practice community.
Welcome to our workshop today. We are going to be learning about how to discover your life purpose. So the presentation is called 4 Questions to Figure Out Your Life Purpose. And I will just introduce myself quickly before we get going. I think I know most of you already. I've met you before, but I'm Alex. I'm the founder of the Mindful Practice and Sober Girls Yoga, and I'm really excited to have you here and to meet you. So these 4 questions to discover your life purpose. So fun fact about me is that I'm actually a certified life coach, and my specialization is in life purpose, which I don't talk about very much. I went to a school called Life Purpose Institute, and I honestly think I just chose this place to do my training because it looked good. I don't think I really knew like what was life purpose, why I was choosing this thing over another thing. I had no idea that I wanted to do recovery, like sobriety coaching, no idea that the mindful life practice would become what it had become. Actually, what happened way back in the day was Dan, that first day when I met Dan, my psychic, who presented for us earlier today, for those of you that were here, he told me that I should become a life coach. And so I ended up choosing this Life Purpose Institute training. And the funny thing about it is that I'm still friends with one of the people I did that training with. And she texted me yesterday to say, can you share with me your 4 questions to find your life purpose? And I was like, well, they're actually from this course, the same course that we took. And so I thought that was really funny because for me, these questions that I was exposed to during this training were just so impactful in helping me figure out what I wanted to do with my life and where I wanted to go. And so I want to take you through a really similar self-discovery process, because that self-discovery process for me was pivotal in changing the direction of my life and ending up where I am today. So before we get into that, I want to ask all of you, what is life purpose? What does that mean? Does anyone have any thoughts?
I feel like it's your calling and the work that we were put on this planet to do, which is different for each person, but trying to discern what that is, because unfortunately we don't arrive here with a little, envelope that you can open that says, here is your life's purpose.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
part of the journey is trying to discern that. But yeah, the work that we're meant to do on this planet, that's what I feel it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. And good morning morning or afternoon or evening to Kaylee, who just popped in. Hi, Kaylee. I don't know if she can hear me. Anyway, maybe Kaylee, if you can hear me, maybe you can just let us know in the chat where you're joining from. I think it might be the first time I've met you. Cool. Does anyone else have any thoughts on what is life purpose? What does life purpose mean? Okay, cool. So our life purpose is basically, it's really similar to what Linda said. It's basically your central motivator in your life. It's what helps you get up in the morning. It can help you guide your life decisions, can help you shape your goals, and it can just help you create meaning in your life. And a fun fact about me, which I already shared with you guys, is that I'm actually a certified life coach in life purpose. And that was what I studied. So I learned all these different methods to help people discover their life purpose so that they can then move forward and fulfill them. So what today is going to look like is we're going to think about 4 questions. And these are going to be 4 questions that the way I'm going to segment this is for each question, I'm going to give you the question, and then I'm going to give you about 5 or so minutes to journal on it. And then we're going to do a little bit of sharing about these questions. And I'll stop the recording when we're sharing so that people feel like they can freely share and they don't need to worry about this being recorded. And so that's what the segment's going to look like. We're going to journal a little bit and then share, and then journal a little bit, share. So my first question for you is, what comes naturally to you? And I'll give some examples. So some people are always helping people with their relationship issues, organizing, fixing things, being out in nature, reading certain types of books, problem solving, being physically active, or taking certain classes. So what do you do naturally just being you? Let's take about 5 minutes to journal. Okay, perfect. So this is question number 2. So question number 2 is, what would you do if you could not fail? So I want you to assume for a moment that money, time, and energy aren't an issue. You absolutely will succeed. So it's like the lottery question. You have the skill, ability, and resources to do exactly what you'd like to do. So would you work? Would you not work? If you wanted to work, what would you do? Let's take about 5 minutes to journal. So the first part of this question that I didn't record is, who are the people you admire the most and why? These can be family, friends, coworkers, movie stars, authors, speakers, living or dead, part of the person, or the whole person. And there's a second part of this question, and this is, what aspects of yourself do you see in them? So I want you to complete this sentence. The me I see in them is. So the premise of this is that you could not see or appreciate these qualities in them unless they're already inside of you. So some of these parts are like seedlings that have never been sunned or watered or brought alive. Some parts are partially in bloom or fully blossomed in you. You might have some of the qualities, but on a different scale than the person you admire. So at any rate, these people that you chose, they tell you what you value as a person. Okay, so the last question, which is your homework, is, are there any unresolved dreams that you have had since you were a child? And I asked Amanda this question in our earlier interview because I was just curious to know if she dreamed one day of, starting her own business, starting a yoga studio. And sometimes you might find that there's an unresolved dream that you had as a kid or a young adult that you might want to explore later in life. I'm going to leave you all with that as homework. And I just want to tell you a little bit about, so the 7-step model for change. This is actually what I learned in my life purpose coaching course. And I also read this somewhere that stopping drinking is the starting. And so kind of like Michelle was saying, when you quit drinking, you end up kind of going on this big journey that's going to transform your life. And that is the truth of what happened to me, right? So I was 30 days sober. That's when I met Dan, my psychic, who totally changed my path. And I'm here today. I'm here sitting on the floor of my friend's guest bedroom in Dubai, leading this summit. But seriously, like, have a pretty adventurous life to be in Bali and now Dubai, and it's pretty cool. So we might come to this discovery that we need to make these changes. And if we don't make these changes, we might go back to drinking. So I do some one-on-one work with people, guiding through these life changes. It's called the 7-step model for change. And this self-discovery is just the early stages of that. So the beginning stages. And I also am starting a new entrepreneur mastermind course next week, which I'm really, really excited about. So it's going to be a 6-month program. This is actually the second group that I'm taking through this. The first group I worked with last year, and then I took a little pause from it. So if you have any curiosity about that program, we do go deep into life purpose at the beginning, and mission and vision, and finding your vision and finding your ideal client, and then kind of work through the implementation of that. So that is that.